vacuum cleaner, hairdryer, curling iron. None of these items were created to excite tech enthusiasts with deep pockets. So how did James Dyson convince millions that his products are desirable and worth prices that almost make them luxury goods? Here is a brief analysis of why Dyson became Apple in the household appliance industry. Be inspired by the brand's story. James Dyson is quite a clever marketer, even though he mainly sees himself as an engineer. For years, the brand communication has been based on the magical number 5126, the number of failures Dyson experienced before he created the first bagless vacuum cleaner, turning a heavily indebted Brit into a billionaire. The company's cult status is based on a founding myth, similar to Steve Jobs' growth of Apple. James is an inventor focused on solving real human problems, who speaks calmly and explains complex topics in simple terms. People who appreciate this approach to life buy Dyson products because it's like returning to a time when products were just supposed to work, not break down after a year or two. That's why Dyson largely bases its marketing on the CEO himself. On their YouTube channel, you'll find dozens of videos featuring him, including a mini-series describing James Dyson's development as a designer. Solve a real problem. Luxury goods are owned solely for status. Their functionality is a secondary importance, as they are symbols of wealth exposed mainly through design. Premium products are different. Their higher price must be justified by the best quality on the market. Appearance and price alone are not enough. The bagless vacuum cleaner designed by Dyson was the first of its kind on the market. After testing more than 5,000 prototypes, James Dyson finally got a working product and solved an annoying and somewhat absurd problem of traditional vacuums that stopped working when the bag was full. Dyson's vacuum cleaner was the only product on the market that worked the same way 100% of the time. This was unprecedented, so James could set a high price, which was meant to go hand in hand with quality and unique design. Another major breakthrough from the company was entering the beauty industry, which faced a different but equally important problem. Hairdryers had looked almost identical for decades. They were heavy, loud, and high-temperature damaged hair. Dyson developed a small and quiet motor in its labs, which they didn't really know how to use. During one experiment, it turned out that it could quickly dry something, and that's when the idea of the first Dyson hairdryer was born. In the following years, the company developed technologies for efficient blowing and suction, releasing more products for the beauty industry and, for example, a fan and air purifier. Each of these products had something unique, like the bladeless fan, which prevented dust from setting on the blades, turning what was once an unattractive item into a nearly decorative piece for the living room or bedroom. Give them satisfaction. People who enjoy cleaning need high-quality equipment. This relatively small group can easily be convinced that, for example, higher suction power is an essential feature of a good vacuum cleaner. However, to become a global giant, you need more. You need to make people who hate cleaning fall in love with it. This will create brand loyalty, which will lead to more profits. That's why Dyson cleverly combined a few simple changes that resulted in increased satisfaction from cleaning. People like to see the results of their work. Dust isn't easily visible to the naked eye, so the idea of a transparent dust cleaner was a hit. In recent years, the company has gone a step further to strengthen this aspect even more. The latest Dyson vacuums display the type of dust being collected, categorized by particle size. This isn't just a psychological trick, as the sensor allows automatic suction power adjustment, which is a great practical convenience. The last few flagship Dyson vacuum models also feature a simple yet highly effective improvement: a laser that illuminates the floor. With it, we discover a sea of dust that has been hiding from us until now. It also gives us a greater satisfaction from cleaning, turning it into a kind of mini-game with the goal of achieving the cleanest floor possible. This simple solution is so effective that I even turn off the lights, for example in the bathroom, to better see the dirt that the vacuum is collecting. Explain the high price. Dyson deliberately positions itself in the premium segment. Beyond price, quality, and design, the brand also creates limited edition color variations of its products as if they belonged to the fashion world rather than everyday household appliances. This approach further elevates the perceived value of the brand. New customers feel even more like they belong to the upper middle class. Not only are they buying the most modern equipment on the market, but they are also getting a touch of uniqueness, even if it's just through the color or an extra accessory that's not usually included. Vacuum cleaners, hair dryers, and fans were never considered admirable. Their design was typically intended to blend into the background, so they wouldn't spoil the decor. Dyson went in a completely different direction. Every flagship product is displayed in showrooms like a piece of art, on a pedestal and with the proper lighting. The advertisements follow the same artistic path, showcasing advanced technological mechanisms that serve very simple purposes: separating dust from air, filtering dirty water in a mop, lowering drying temperatures while maintaining power. The company constantly highlights these subtle improvements to the strength customers' perceptions that even a small change involves immense engineering effort aimed at genuinely improving the quality of life. Instead of investing in gimmicky uses of AI, Dyson focuses on physical solutions. This tangibility in innovation is easier for the older generation who value well-made products to understand. Meanwhile, the younger generation can take satisfaction in watching various dust particles and other debris being sucked up by something they actually use. Although Dyson holds over 1,000 patents, it rarely takes legal action. The brand CEO is well aware that companies copying the technologies developed by his firm gain only partially from stealing ideas. Samsung and Xiaomi may have identical technologies in their devices at 30 or even 50% lower prices, but there is only one Dyson. Influencers and collaborations such as New York Fashion Week also reinforce the sense of exclusivity. A hairdryer bought by celebrities and used at fashion shows automatically becomes more luxurious than it actually is. Dyson has turned unattractive household items into gadgets whose purchase is easily justified by their practical usefulness. Manufacturers of boring household products so rarely enhance the features of a hairdryer, fan, or vacuum cleaner that even a single surprising feature is enough for customers to share information about the purchase, thus creating word-of-mouth marketing. Look for new ideas of development. It is estimated that Dyson spends about 15% of its annual revenue on research and development, over 6 times more than its competitors. The company knows that only by technologizing a stagnant and unappealing industry can it persuade customers to buy products priced as the most expensive in their category. No one will buy a vacuum cleaner for $1,000 solely because of its design or attractive advertisements. Behind the promise of quality, there must be actual performance, even if it's just a tiny, but still significant, improvement in household chores, which people either dislike doing or don't have time for and want to speed up. James Dyson did not choose the direction of the company's growth based on cynical sales goals. Instead, he decided to use the small and relatively quiet motor developed in his company to improve the use of items based on similar technology. This is why he entered the beauty industry, which brought significant profits thanks to several models of hairdryers and hairstyling devices. So he scaled the business again by trying to solve a real problem in a specific industry. Be prepared for failures. However, Dyson is not a company that only produces successful products. The brand lost billions in development in the automotive and audio equipment sectors. An innovative washing machine costing $1,000 also didn't stay long on the market. Their latest household appliance, a mopping attachment, has received mixed reviews online, as did the expensive cleaning robot. Despite these failures, the company continues to invest in new products, trying to stand out from the competition, not always in a good way. However, these constant efforts strengthen Dyson's position as a leader in the household appliance and hair care products industries every year. Because, as the saying goes, he who does not nothing makes no mistakes. Thanks for watching or listening to this material. Check out my previous videos where I talk about how Red Bull actually makes billions and why Deadpool's marketing is so brilliant. See you next time. Bye!